The strange death of Elisa Lam. Elisa Lam, a Canadian student at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, was recovered from a water tank atop the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles on February 19, 2013. One morning, the residents of the Cecil started calling the lobby and reporting water that smelled and tasted disgusting. Later that day, the remains of Elisa were discovered in the water tank. It had been there for weeks. But even more alarming is the fact that tanks had been welded shut and had not been entered in years. There was no way for an adult to access entry into the tank. But wait, it gets stranger. A video of the final moments of Elisa's life was discovered. At first, it seems that Elisa is being followed by someone. Then she leaves the elevator and begins acting very oddly. Who is she talking to? Is she talking to anyone? Is there someone there? Is there something there? Or nothing there? Is she reaching for something? Something real? Or something in her mind? Maybe. Something paranormal. Some suggest that the hotel might be somewhat responsible. Maybe Elisa had a drug overdose and died. Then the hotel somehow hid her remains in the water tower to avoid more bad publicity. You see, the Cecil was also the home of the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez.
In their interview, Ramirez refused to discuss his own crimes, but had this to say about serial killers.
A serial killer comes about by circumstances and like a recipe, poverty, drugs, child abuse. These things, contribute to a person's frustration and anger, and at some point in life, he explodes.
Perhaps for Richard Ramirez, that anger and frustration turned to rage, which he in turn took out on his victims. His killings were so sadistic and brutal that even experienced detectives were shocked.
He took a woman in her 60s and stomped her to death with his foot, leaving an imprint of a shoe on the side of her face. From that to just executing somebody upon walking into a room after he entered a house. He strangled, he used a ligature, he used a tire iron on a young girl.
Is it possible that Elisa was murdered by the ghost of the Night Stalker? Or perhaps something demonic that the satanic serial killer unleashed. Ramirez died less than a year prior to Elisa's death.
What a bizarre discovery it was yesterday. Let me show you some pictures of firefighters on the roof here of the Cecil Hotel. The body was found in a large water tank on the rooftop. People staying at the hotel complained of low water pressure, so a maintenance worker went up to check. He found the naked body of a woman in her 20s at the bottom of one of the tanks. Firefighters had to use a saw to cut a hole in the tank, drain the water out, and remove the body. Now, they've identified her as 21-year-old Elisa Lam. She's from Vancouver, Canada, was last seen at the Cecil on January the 31st. Police are calling her death suspicious, not yet calling it a murder, and they're saying they cannot rule out foul play. Here's what's really interesting. Investigators did a thorough search of the hotel, including the rooftop area, 3 weeks ago, and they used search dogs to do it. Also, the only way to the roof is through a locked and alarmed door that only employees have a key to. That, or you can use the fire escape.
With the 5th anniversary of her death coming soon, there still are no answers.
As far as Satan is concerned, I believe in a malevolent being. His description eludes me, but I have felt powers that are evil.